Hi, boys and girls. This is the Engage New York Unit 1 mid-module test. So please make sure that your name is at the top of your test and the date is at the top of your test. Adjust the volume so you can hear me. I will read you the question and you may pause the video to do your math. All right, here we go. Number 1. Mrs. Tran plants 2 rows of 5 carrots in her garden. A. Draw an array that represents Mrs. Tran's carrots. Use an X to show each carrot. Okay, please pause the video to do your math right here. B. Mrs. Tran adds 3 more rows of 5 carrots to her garden. Use circles to show her new carrots on the array in Part A. Fill in the blanks below to show how she added the 5 rows. Blank 5s plus blank 5s equals blank 5s. Pause the video to do your math. Write a sentence to explain your thinking. A sentence with a capital letter and a period. Pause the video if you need to. C. Find the total number of carrots Mrs. Tran planted. Pause the video to do your math. D. Write a multiplication sentence to describe the array representing the total number of carrots Mrs. Tran planted. Pause the video to do your math. Page 2. Number 2. Mrs. Tran picks 15 tomatoes from her garden. She puts 5 tomatoes in each bag. A. Draw Mrs. Tran's bags of tomatoes. Right here. Pause the video to do your drawing. B. Write a multiplication number sentence that describes your drawing in Part A. Pause the video to write your multiplication number sentence. 3. Mrs. Tran plants 12 sunflowers in her garden. She plants them in 3 rows. Fill in the blanks below to make a true division sentence. What does the answer represent? Blank divided by blank equals blank. This is the answer, right? The quotient. What does this answer represent? Pause the video to do your work. And B. Mrs. Tran adds 2 more identical rows of sunflowers to her 3 original rows. That means she adds 2 more of the same rows of sunflowers to her 3 original rows. Draw an array to show how many flowers she has now. Pause the video to do your math to show your array. C. Mrs. Tran, I'll hold this up a little bit. The bottom one, here we go. Mrs. Tran figured out how many flowers she planted. Her work is shown in the box below. Would Mrs. Tran get the same result if she multiplied 5 times 4? Explain your answer, why or why not. So yes, she would get the same answer, or no, she would not get the same answer. Explain why. Here's how Mrs. Tran figured out right here in the box. 3 times 4 plus 2 times 4 equals 12 plus 8 equals 20. Okay, check over your work before you raise your hand and turn in your test.